Welcome to our newest segment, one wherein I review the latest broadcasts, news, and reports. To help me in reviewing and scoring these items, I've enlisted the help of an old buddy from a bygone era, the GamePro game rating system. Only I've replaced all scores with a picture of Krillin from Dragon Ball Z. As a result, this segment will henceforth be called Krillinum Softly. Today's review focuses on the latest state of play by Sony. This was a 22-minute teaser of upcoming games meant to whet the palate and avoid all mention of hardware scarcity in PSVR 2. After announcing it on the PlayStation blog on October 22nd, Sony went live on October 27th with the broadcast. Now, if you're going to build one of these things, you got to give time for speculation and for our enthusiasm to generate. So for the 5-day ramp-up time, just enough to gird your loins, but not quite long enough for some indie developer to fake a Silent Hill remake, I give this state of play a 4 out of 5. Now, let's examine how things started. This state of play jumped right into gameplay footage. After waiting for the starting soon screen to go away, I was ready for action, but I was still cold. I wanted to be warmed up. Where's the oblivious CEO reading from a script? How about a nervous developer who looks like he was told this morning that he'd be talking to the world about his latest game that he hasn't even tested yet? At least that would make me feel like I was at ease, thinking, at least I'm not that guy. At the very least, they could have flashed an image like the one behind me to let me know I'm on the right channel. As a result, the intro gets 2 Krillins out of 5. Before moving on to the next criteria, I just want to highlight that we are 2 minutes and 11 seconds into this thing before Sony reveals that we're actually watching the state of play, before we see any state of play graphics. I mean, we're almost 10% of the way into the show before I know for sure what's going on, and I don't even know who's talking to me. Come on, there's details that you can't leave out if you want to keep us in a loop, especially when you're dropping news on us like this. But before I get ahead of myself, look at this. Look at these graphics. What's a factory pumping away some squares and circles and triangles like some kind of knockoff Halloween store trying to ride the wave of last year's trendy Netflix show? It makes me feel like something special is in production. Like Sony's making something good for us here. And look at this graphic. After the second game premiere, doesn't this look great? Wouldn't it look even better in VR? I think this is a hint from Sony that PSVR 2 is coming really soon. And I think that it's a not so subtle hint from Sony that the next state of play is going to be only viewable in PSVR. So with that presumption, I give the graphics of this state of play a 5-star Krillin rating. Next, I want to look at how this state of play flows. You know, our host, who shan't be named, has done a good job thus far, easing me into each announcement at least, despite the first one. But what the hell is this? First, she doesn't even tell me what game is about to show up.
Battle beasts and demigods in a challenging action RPG coming soon to PlayStation. Let's take a look.
When will the confusion end? Then this garbage happens.
Shatter all expectations.
魂のるつぼの中で私はあなたたちの戦いを眺めてきた。これもまた運命の導き。
Dolores.
There was no clarification that we were suddenly shifting games from the kart racing game to the fighting game. I swear, I thought for about a full minute how badass it was going to be to play as Dolores against all these Slime Rancher rejects sliding around in go-karts. But no, it's a totally different game. Sony, I don't know what's going on here. It's unclear, and it's left me nervous and a little bit bored. Also, what's this crap? PS4 and PS5? You ever think about the fact that some people only have an Xbox, Sony? Disrespectful, all right? Your flow? It gets one smoky-ass Krillin. Up next is the spice. This is the stuff that lingers after the state of play. You know, it's the stuff that you're going to be talking about the next day when you're at the vending machine. And the guy who restocks all the Snickers is there restocking the Snickers, and you're waiting for him to get done because you asked him for a free one, like as a joke, but you kind of meant it. And he's got like 100 of them, so it's not like anybody's going to notice that one is missing. But I mean, like maybe his boss is keeping tabs on it, but like they can't be counting that closely because, you know, 20% of the time it gives you 2 Snickers, even though you only pay for 1. This is the best state of play ever. I mean, I've already been promised a free game this month, and I'm going to be getting some free DLC at the start of next year. 5 Harry Krillins. The finale. Now, we'll rate the ending of the state of play. The last game shown is prefaced with this.
Before we wrap up, let's get an update on the eagerly awaited Little Devil Inside.
And if you look closely, we still have 20% of the state of play to go. Honestly, this should have been its own state of play if you got this much left to show off. It feels a bit too weighted at the end. You know, it's unfair. All of the games before didn't get this treatment, and some of them are coming out before this. Listen, we're here for diversity. We're here for fresh tastes. Save the deep dives for the game reviewers, please. And once the last game is shown, we're sent packing with this.
That's our show. We hope you enjoyed this peek into what's to come on PlayStation. See you next time.
Indeed, it was just a peek, if we disregard the last bit. But I did enjoy it. However, at the end of all of it, I was kind of left wanting. Where's PSVR 2? Are we going to get a PlayStation 5 Pro? In the words of Carrie Underwood, I shaved my legs for this. Which brings me to my final score for the state of play. 5 Krillins out of 5.